And a very pleasant good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a special edition of Tornado Talk, where we're going to celebrate Brevard College football, an incredible season they had this spring of 2021. And shortly, we'll bring into the conversation the three gentlemen you see on your screen right now: head coach Bill Khayat, defensive coordinator Luke Jaicks, and also assistant head coach and special teams coordinator Martin Bayless. But want to tell you a little bit about this past season. The USA Southwest Division co-champions, the Brevard College Tornadoes, just an impressive year altogether. Lights out play in all three phases. A 4-1 overall record in the spring of 2021. And dating back, this success dates really back all the way to the 2019 season. An incredible run the Tornadoes are on, 14-3 since November 10th of 2019. And the winning this season began with a 19-10 win at Averett. Eli Carr with a big day in that one, 212 yards passing. Justin Pendergrass with 104 receiving yards. Toby, Naylor, and Stefan Kennedy leading the charge defensively. And then on senior day, which was also the first ever game at Ives Lamel Family Field on the campus of Brevard College, a 27-3 win over Huntington. Just a spectacular day for the Brevard College community as well, with football returning to campus. First time in nearly a century that the Tornadoes football was back on campus. Eli Carr with 4 touchdowns in that one. The BC defense with a big day as well. Brevard then at Maryville, a 14-3 win. BC defense again leading the charge, allowing just 147 total yards, 3 interceptions in that one. Senior Stephen Hogan taking over the reins at quarterback in relief of Eli Carr, and comes up with the win for the Tornadoes. Then back at home, Brevard 44, North Carolina Wesleyan 14. Another big day at Ives Lamel Family Field. Stephen Hogan over 200 yards passing. Dalton Cole 3 rushing touchdowns. Jacques Pledger pulls down his 5th interception of the season. Also INTs by Derek Frazier and Chason Lowry. A 39-yard field goal for Stamati Damalos. And 523 total yards, 319 rushing yards versus North Carolina Wesleyan. And really just capping off a sensational year on the gridiron for the Tornadoes in all three phases, as we mentioned. And glad we bring into the show head coach Bill Khayat. First, we'll start with you, Coach. As I go through all that success and all those numbers, Coach, what comes to mind to kind of, sum up just this performance this spring?
Well, I think we all feel like we lost a year in 2020, which we weren't able to play. And your graphic you put up, that actually dated back to 2018, believe it or not, that we've been on this 14-3 run. And it was just truly important for our players to show that 2019 8-2 campaign and the Scotty Whitelaw Bowl Championship wasn't a flash in the pan. That these guys have built this program the right way. We have an incredible foundation of high character players, student athletes, and they wanted to strive for perfection. They knew there was an opportunity this year to do something that would be rare without having a D3 playoff to actually go undefeated. And I mean, there's only those handful of teams, the elite of the elite, that have ever done that. So they wanted to set forth on that journey to get there, and they were diligent in their approach all year. And, we had the misstep when we started off the season down in Alabama. You're not going to beat any team with 6 turnovers. And after that game, boy, did they set their mind to what they wanted to achieve. And there was no question that we were the best team in the USA South by far. The body of work was evident on the field. Starting off with just the way the tide started to turn in Averett, and that's a difficult place to win now, to go on the road to Averett and win. We had a rookie quarterback playing, true freshman, his first time under center there, as you said, Aurelian Pistol. He doesn't ever get under center. But then, that defense gave up an early touchdown, and heck, it would be a long stretch before they ever gave up another one. So that really gave us the confidence that we needed, that we knew we could do the remarkable things on the field. And then, of course, the following week, just finally to be on home. And I understand that Brevard High School has such a beautiful setting. It's a gorgeous place to play. Even though it's only an 8-minute drive from camp, you still have to pack your bag and put your stuff in a foreign locker, and you're sitting in a stool that you're not used to being in, and you're tying your shoes at a different place. So to play at home and to come out and beat the reigning champion and beat the brakes off them, truly 24 points, no touchdowns given up in the game, throw for 4 touchdowns. I mean, it was just really an exciting atmosphere, and what a way to open it for the first time back on campus in such a long time. And then, we just continued. We continued to roll from there. And, these wins on the road over Maryville, just tremendous. And, you think about all the things that our guys went through. I mean, one thing that gets left unsaid a lot is that their frame of mind throughout the year. They had a plan. They knew what they wanted to do. They executed the plan. The rules were set forth by them to follow, and they did so. And then, obviously, we all know about the change in the rules late by those, steeped in the tradition of fairness and competitive settings, decided to either interpret the rules a little differently or change them. And, we really could have come out flat in that last game. And with all of the success we had, I could not have been more proud of those players than their performance at home against NC Wesleyan. To come out to put a performance like that, when if you had any idea their state of mind after that, they just wanted to leave no doubt in the minds of anyone who the best team was in the USA South for this abbreviated spring 2021 season.
Outstanding, Coach. Appreciate that. And I appreciate you also pointing out that 14-3 record all the way back to 2018, and appreciate our crack staff fixing that up for us there. Don't want to go for that to go unnoticed. And, just an incredible year also when you put together some of these individual performances. 12 D3Football.com Team of the Week honorees, Jock Pledger, Quentin Jackson, Toby Naylor, Dante Anderson, Dalton Cold, Jock Pledger and Quentin Jackson, multiple-time winners on that award. In the entire BC offensive line, Nicholas Eubanks, Zion Bargelo, Brandon Unangst, Ari Drake, and Todd Norman. Also 12 USA South Conference honorees for the all-conference team, weekly award winners, including twice for Eli Carr, Ernest Smith II, and Quentin Jackson, and the NFF Hampshire Honor Society honorees. And this is a very prestigious honor for football seniors. Dante Anderson, Stephen Hogan, and Gabriel Rebollar-Catalan, all honored by the National Football Foundation. Coach, in terms of those individual awards, I know you're always proud to see that kind of recognition, and especially this Student Athlete Award, the Honor Society.
Well, if you ever question what leadership does for a team, I think it's been answered. This is the first time that we've had a double digits in number of players that are seniors. Now, we do have plenty that have eligibility left, but actual seniors within the classroom. And you see what a profound effect it had on the performance of the players on the football field. And now we have players that understand to play as a team. And if you are playing for the greater cause, for the team, then the individual accolades will come, as long as you're not chasing those individual accolades. Don't chase the tackles. Don't chase the interceptions. Don't chase the touchdown receptions. They will all come by playing in an unselfish team atmosphere. And what's really remarkable to me is the number of players. So when we've had players do this in the past, it's been the same guys. It's been repetitive. You've said the same names over and over again that we're getting recognized for their achievements. And this season, the number of different individuals that were named, heck, even the entire offensive line being named. But we had guys that have done it in the past, and they're doing it again for us. And then we had names that hadn't been heard of before being individually recognized. And then there were still some that are left out. With that many people, I think you almost feel bad. Well, we can't put another player on from Brevard. We got to find somebody else to recognize. And we've had some guys that were snubbed, basically, and had incredible performances. So certainly proud of all of those accomplishments. And then the prestigious academic awards as well. I mean, that's what this team strives to be, is well balanced and just, a model program. We believe that we are now in the elite in the USA South, and we need to perform like that, whether that be in the classroom, on the football field, or out on campus, or within Brevard. So extremely proud of everything that this team has been able to do this spring.
Real quickly, I'm going to name the all-conference performers because it even adds more of those names to the list, as you mentioned, Coach. Running backs Aaron Bennett and Damone Rouse. Wide receivers sweep that position: Cedric Brooks, Jamario Parks, and Justin Pendergrass. O-lineman Justin Parker and Brandon Unangst. Defensive lineman Jerome Bass. Linebacker Stephon Kennedy. Safety Dante Anderson. And return specialist Jamario Parks. Congratulations to them as well. Bringing in now defensive coordinator Luke Jaicks. That defensive unit continues its dominance. A conference record 11.2 points per game allowed. Just 4 touchdowns allowed across the 5 games. At one point, a 14-quarter streak without a touchdown allowed and 11 interceptions. Just a phenomenal season, Coach Jaicks. I'm sure you're very proud of your group, Coach.
Yeah, I'm very proud. This group has been around and together for a long time, and we almost just didn't want to overcoach because a lot of those guys like Dante and Wesley Ross kind of run things back there, and just super proud of what they did and what they accomplished. And they were really kind of the guys that led the group and led the team. And they just wanted it really bad and worked really hard. And they had an amazing season. I was really proud of them even from the very first game. Even we were down 3 touchdowns and all those guys just kept fighting and kept working hard and kept believing we could do it. And that really, propelled us to such a great season. All credit, to our assistant coaches and our players. I mean, they're the ones that bought in and they're the ones that played, and they just had a phenomenal year and really, really bought in and really played together, and they accomplished amazing things. So.
Outstanding, Coach. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. Also with us is assistant head coach and special teams coordinator. He also handles the safeties, Coach Martin Bayless. Coach, thanks for joining us. Now, Coach, you've been around the sport for a long time, NFL experience, all sorts of college experience as well. Your first year here at Brevard College, and after witnessing this spring's performance, what are your impressions of the Tornadoes now that you've have a year of coaching under your belt with this unit? Coach, you may be on mute still.
Okay, I should be working fine. Can you hear me?
Yep, we got you now. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I wanted to say, first of all, I want to say, thanks for having coaches like Coach Jaicks and head coach Khayat, who have, came to Brevard a lot earlier than I have, and put into the foundation of the program the key parts of rebuilding the program, because it was a total rebuild when they came in, and then a short period of time with them bringing their core values and instilling that in our staff, and then our staff instilling it in the players. The results that you showed record-wise, also the results that coach is showing in the classroom with our players, off the field, in the community. It's a well-rounded program that has taken a big step in the right direction. And, I just continue to hope that the people in Brevard continue to support the program, keep helping coaches to put the resources behind the program. And from that point, I think we can keep building the success, because it's obvious that it's a change that has happened in Brevard. And from a coaching standpoint, we're finally getting the kids that we want. We're getting the kids to come in and understand the totality of the program and what the program can do for themselves and for the college.
Very good. Coach Bayless, let's stick with you for this next one as well. Special teams coordinator. Can you tell us about that unit and, the things you were most proud of this year from them?
Well, the first thing I'm proud of with our players is that just like any team, when you get new coaches that come in, all of us have our own ideas and how we want our team to perform. First of all, our players took on the challenge to take on a new special team system. It's really not much different than the one that was put in place by Coach Gouveia and also Coach Jaicks a couple of years ago. Just some different terminology, but I think the coaching style is very aggressive. We want our players to play hard. We want them to play fast. We want them to play physical. And at the end of the day, as a coach, all of our jobs is to develop people. So I think when you look at that, and sometimes you don't get the results on the field that you would like on a day-to-day basis, but I think that the players have tried to deliver. And that's really what you're asking for as a coach, is guys to put forth the effort to, commit themselves, to dedicate themselves, playing winning football. And like I said, in a short period of time, Coach Khayat has, sprinkled some magic dust in Brevard County, and he's gotten great results. And I just hope that we can continue to do this. We have a fall season coming up. We are now sitting in the driver's seat because Brevard's never sat in the driver's seat. It feels good to sit in the driver's seat, but the demand for the winning continues. And I know that the coaches are going to take on that challenge just like our players. And they're going to come back after, this spring semester proving that we're the champions. We've already proved that on the field. All we have to do is come back and work hard as we did in the fall, when we didn't have a season, work hard as we did in the spring. And I believe we have the right people, and that always helps out. So if we can keep the focus with the players, I think that we're going to have a successful fall. That's what we're looking forward to. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of sleepless nights, but I think we have the right people. And I believe that the players are going to come and perform, and we're going to be happy with the results that we get when we get back in town in August.
Very good. Thank you, Coach Martin Bayless. Coach Jaicks, you're also the recruiting coordinator for Brevard College football. And, you've been part of the staff since 2017, and, you've witnessed this growth and been a big part of it. As you're talking to recruits and as you sort of feel this momentum of Brevard College football, can you describe to our audience, just how special it is?
Yeah. It makes recruiting a lot easier to say, we've been 14-3 the past couple years. Now, like Coach Bayless said, we're in the driver's seat. It just has made recruiting a lot easier in the sense of all the success we've had. But, Coach Khayat does a great job. I'm the recruiting coordinator, but he kind of structures everything so that, we have call centers and we hold each other accountable to really recruit and really, give, a ton of players calls, and also do background checks and call their head coaches and talk to their parents. And we not only want to bring in talented players, but we want to bring in great human beings. And I think that's, the biggest thing that we've done is we have great talented players, but we also have really good human beings. And those are the kids that are leading our program. And that's a telltale sign to why we've been so successful.
Coach Khayat, as you reflect on what your fellow coaches are saying here, and as you're hitting the recruiting trail yourself, can you give us sort of the big picture state of the union? Where's Brevard College football at, and where are we headed?
Well, first of all, you see why we have great team leadership, because look at the two gentlemen you have on this call with me, and what a great position it is to be as a head coach, knowing that you have a staff of highly qualified, motivated, extremely skilled coaches working with you. So that's really where our State of the Union begins, is what type of leadership do we have? And I've been telling all of the parents of these recruits the same thing. I don't want to have coaches that are sitting there smoking cigarettes while they're telling their players not to smoke cigarettes. and they need to be able to lead by example. And what great men, some a little older than others, some younger, but some great men to look up to as role models of how to play the game, how to approach the game, and how to be successful at the game. So it's important for me to be surrounded by coaches that are like-minded. Yeah, there are going to be some differences so that they can, bring some different ideas and thoughts and perspectives. But for the most part, like Coach Jake said, I mean, we use that term over and over about good human beings. So if I have an attraction to these men as coaches because of their character, then they in turn will be highly likely to connect with players, prospective student athletes that are built in that same format. So when they're talking to those players, they will connect with them because they'll say, wow, I really like this player's energy. I really like, he's kind off the field, but when he's on the field, boy, is he mean. And, that's the type of athlete that we're looking for. Is that they are a good quality, high character person first, because I have this group that is just a fountain of football knowledge, and they're great communicators. So they're going to get the information across about how to be an even better player than you already are. But if you don't have someone that's a willing participant, if you don't have a great teammate, then I'm not interested, nor are these coaches, and it's never going to help our program succeed. So we start with that, then all of the other stuff. Now, if we get a kid a student athlete that's a phenomenal football player from the jump, okay, great. Well, and then we can do some extra special things with them. But I'll tell you what, I could not be more proud of the hard work and dedication that these players put in it. I know Coach Bayless said magic dust. But when it comes to the players' development, there was no magic needed there. It was their efforts that were put in. It was their hard work. It was their mindset. Yeah, there could have been a little bit of encouragement along the way from the coaching staff. And they did need to see a role model to do it. But for the most part, great people. And these are the kind of things, if there weren't NCAA rules against it, I'd have them at my house and have cookouts and invite them over, because they're those kind of people that you want to be around all the time. And you want to reward them for all of the great things that they've been able to accomplish. So I'm so thankful to the parents for supporting them and allowing them to come to Brevard College. I'm thankful for the ones that have stayed for 4 years and 3 years and will promise to stay for only in their first or second year. So once again, could not be more happy about everything that has taken place, during this entire time, but of course, a celebration of the spring season.
Very good. Well, coaches, hang with us just a couple moments more. We're going to bring in some of those aforementioned student athletes onto the screen with you so we can welcome them into the program. Joined here by Gabriel Rebollar-Catalan, Chason Lowry, also in the house. We've also got Brandon Whitfield. Coach Khayat, help us introduce to NATO Nation. Most of NATO Nation knows these three already, but tell us even more about these three outstanding seniors.
Okay, well, Gabe Rebollar. All right, the old nickname Peggy. So, Gabe. So he's a young man that I first met when I was out in Arizona, coaching with Coach Jaicks at Scottsdale Community College. And, that really started us off with the relationship. And then, the players that we've brought over the years from Scottsdale have been extremely successful. And what a joy it was to have Gabe. Now, I got more time with him than some of the other coaches because he actually plays the position that I coach specifically, which is tight ends. So his leadership in that room, tremendous, has really helped so many people out. But the thing about Gabe is, you'll see him everywhere on campus. He is so involved in the community, so involved within the school, always willing to help. You talk about a lead by example guy. He's the perfect one for that. And then, certainly the highlight for me was watching him with that sealing the victory against Huntington at home. and that was just exciting to see him score that touchdown. So I think you'll really enjoy speaking with him and his infectious smile and laugh, and he'll bring some joy to your life. Brandon Whitfield, well, I would say he's about as steady as they come. So, played some in the secondary early in the career, but has always been our long snapper. And anybody that knows about the long snapping position, it is one that will make your heart race every time you go out, because if you don't perform, everybody's going to know that you had a giant miscue that either cost the extra point, cost the field goal, the punt snap went over somebody's head, got a safety, terrible field position. So, but when he does it right, nobody says anything. Nobody looks, nobody cares, nobody pays attention. And so it's an extremely, this is a game that a lot of it is played in the mind, that position for him. So to know that every time he went into the game, I had nothing to worry about, what a tremendous relief that is for a coach. And so when you have a player that's steady, that makes you sleep good at night as a coach. Now, what he's done off the field, I'm sure he'll get into all of his stuff with his involvement in law enforcement and, being able to be around these players while he's working, and they can see these kids that are freshmen and sophomore, and I'm wondering, will I ever make it somewhere? And he's the perfect product, because he's now into his life's work. He's in his vocation that he loves. This is what he said he's always wanted to do, and couldn't be more happy about doing it. We're so proud of him and his accomplishments. All right, Chason Lowry. All right, I don't think, has anybody ever called him Chason? I don't know. I think he just goes by Lowry all the time. But this one right here, part of this program, another one from the start, from the originator in 2017. Well, this guy can really do it all. And when I tell you that, I have video proof of every single bit of it. We have a long, long history together. He's played on the offensive line. He's played fullback. He's played tight end. We moved him to defense, and he's playing defensive line. And he is the ultimate team player, will do anything he can to help. He's a tremendous vocal leader. So many of the players look up to him and ask him for advice, ask him, what should we do? Hey, what is our next step? And he really has a big voice with the team. And heck, he even keeps me straight. If he thinks I'm calling a bad play, he'll ask me, who the hell's calling these damn plays? So, just a great one. And he still tells me he has the best hands on the team. And heck, he made some big catches when he was playing fullback tight end for us in 2019. And then what an incredible interception as a defensive lineman. So I don't know. He's probably right up there at the top. I'm sure I have some receivers yapping at me right now in the chat box somewhere. But I don't know. I did try to throw him 2 passes while he was a lineman, so I knew about his hands. But a tremendous player nonetheless, Phil. Great football player. High football IQ would be the way to probably describe his play. So I know that was a lengthy introduction, but like I said, I have a lot of history with these three, and there's so much to cover. We could do a whole show on just the three of them.
Well, we're almost out of time, but I do want to give Coach Jaicks and Coach Bayless a quick chance to congratulate these 3 seniors and just thank them for all they've done. Coach?
I'll go first. Actually, I recruited all 3 of these guys. Lowry, such an amazing human being, like Coach Khayat was saying. He's kind of that unsung leader. If Lowry says, we need to do this, and the team will listen. And Lowry's always been a team guy, and he's always listen to the coaches, and he's just a great human being. And I was so happy when we were able to get him on defense, and he's just been such a blessing and on and off the field. Whitfield, I remember him coming on his recruiting visit with his mom, and again, he used to play DB, but he became, so valuable as a long snapper that, we couldn't really risk him back there. And again, him and I have a lot of conversations just one-on-one, and we even hang out sometimes, play Frisbee golf around the campus. And I could just tell you again, just another great human being and a great football player. So he'll be dearly missed. Rebollar, the big underdog. I mean, this guy has so much passion and works so hard. Coach Khayat and I used to watch all his videos over the summer, and he's just really made himself into who he is. And I think he's always had about a 4.0 GPA, which just goes to show you, just how great he is in the classroom and how big of a person he is. And he turned out to be a great football player and a huge asset to our team. So I can't say enough about these three, and they'll be dearly missed. And I'll be sad to see them go.
Coach Bayless?
Well, my interaction with all three of the young men have been a little bit more limited than Coach Khayat and Coach Jaicks because they've been here the whole time. But I've enjoyed every single moment. I got a different relationship with all three of them. They're fine young men. They try to do what you ask them to do. They're great leaders. They all are good student athletes. And, it's great to be involved with it because at the end of the day, we hope that these young men come to campus, they play some good football for us. But after that, 4 years later, we hope that they are able to take their majors and their degrees and go out into the workforce. And I think all three of those young men will do a fine job at the next level in their professional life and hopefully raise good families. I think they're quality people, and I wish I could have them around for another 2 or 3 years.
Very good. Thank you. Head coach Bill Khayat, defense coordinator Luke Jaicks, and assistant head coach, special teams coordinator Martin Bayless. Thank you, coaches, for joining the program. Really appreciate you helping us recap this sensational season.
I appreciate you having us on, Phil.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Phil.
All right,
appreciate it.
there they go. Okay, time to talk to some senior football student athletes. Coach Khayat did a great job introducing these three, but we'll be sure to tell you a little more. In the upper right corner, senior defensive back from Cumming, Georgia, West Forsyth High School, Brandon Whitfield in the house. Brandon, how's it going, man?
So far, so good.
Yeah, appreciate you being here on this special edition of Tornado Talk. In the bottom right corner, Gabriel Rebollar-Catalan, the senior tight end from Scottsdale, Arizona.
Yes, sir. Hey, how you doing, Phil?
Great to have you here. And Chason Lowry, the senior defensive lineman from Pembroke, North Carolina. Chason, thanks for joining the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Chason, let's start with you because a final memory for a lot of NATO Nation when they think back on this season, how can you not? Fourth quarter, 2 minutes and 4 seconds left to play. An interception by a defensive lineman, Chason Lowry, and the Tornado bench just explodes. Chason, take us through that play and how that must have felt.
We come off the ball. It was a two-step drop from the quarterback in the red zone. Most plays, that's when anything come across the middle, slant, OTB. So I figured I didn't get a good rush. I tried to get my hands up and bat the ball down. It was close enough to grab, and I told Coach all season, Coach, there's one in my hands. I'm going to grab it and come down with it.
Yeah, no doubt. And Gabriel, I see you smiling as we mentioned this one. That had to be just a feel-good moment for the team. Can you describe it from your perspective?
Man, it's just you always want you want something to happen good for your teammates. So when it happened to Larry, I'm like, man, Larry really caught that. He's like, man, it just appeared in my hand. So when he was trying to take it down to the field, I was like, man, take it. But obviously he got caught. But anyways, I was just excited for him. And Lowry just be able to get an interception as a D lineman. It's, that's tough to do, especially down the trenches right there with the mobs.
Yeah, and Brandon, that capped off that huge win over North Carolina Wesleyan. It had to just be a sweet feeling for you guys to know that you'd finish it off, and also for your fellow senior to come up with that kind of, sealing play there.
Oh yeah, the feeling when that happened and the win, it was unbelievable. I remember when Jason got the interception, the whole sideline went crazy, and I was trying to get up to right up on the sideline so I could see what had happened, and then I saw it. I couldn't believe it, but it was awesome. It was really awesome.
A little more football before we get into what you seniors are going to be up to upon graduation. Brandon, defensive back, but also that long snapper position that Coach was describing. Can you talk about your journey as a long snapper and, kind of the art of the long snapping?
Yeah, absolutely. So I pretty much started long snapping in about middle school. I had a coach that had done it in college, and he taught me the basics of it. And then from middle school, I went on into high school, and a couple of the there was a couple camps. Chris Rubio, he came to my high school and hosted a couple camps. And since our high school was the host, myself and our punter got to go for free since we were hosting the camps. And I went to about 3 or 4 of them, and I learned a lot. And then I'd go home and practice. And when season came around, I'd do the drills that he had taught. And just over time, I just got to where I started to get where I really wanted to be. But the art of long snapping, it's just all about being precise and being accurate and technique, most of all. It just takes a lot of technique and knowing where to place your hands, knowing when to let go of the ball, knowing when to, or just how much power to put through it to make sure it gets back there. Feet position for punt and field goals, both different. So you just got to find where you're comfortable at and where you can get your best technique in to make sure you get the speed and accuracy on the ball that you need.
Very good. Appreciate that kind of detailed explanation of a, what's often an overlooked, critical part of the game of football. Gabriel Rebollar-Catalan, Coach mentioned it, 20-yard touchdown catch from Eli Carr versus Huntington, first ever game at Ives Lamel Family Field. There was so much excitement around that ball game, and then you were able to come up with that touchdown catch. Break it down for us, Gabe. What was that play call, and then also, how did it feel to, hit pay dirt?
Well, during practice, we had ran this play, and Eli actually hit me during practice with this ball in the end zone when we ran the end zone drills. And I'm like, man. And so that play actually, the day the morning of, I was actually replaying it in my head. I was like, I feel like this is the play I'm going to score in. So I was just trying to imagine that play in my head. And then eventually when they did call it in the huddle, I was like, oh man, I'm like, this is it. This is the play. I'm like, this is where I'm going to score. I'm like, just do it. Khayat's voice was in my head. He's like, make sure you just run a little bit inside, get up vertical, and then get that corner. And so I just remember just having his voice in my head, running that route. Eventually that ball just came, and everything happened so fast in the game. Like everything just goes so fast in the game. So when I caught that ball, and I'm like, man, I'm really in the end zone. And it was my first ever career touchdown. So just being able to do all that, and all the hard work I did over the summer, over COVID, the pandemic break, and so just all that led to that touchdown, and just it felt great.
One more football question for you, Chason. Part of this dominant defense, just allowing over 11 points per game this season, had a 14-quarter streak going where he didn't even allow a touchdown against conference competition. What was, if you were to sum it up, the mentality of the defense, what was the secret to this success?
Chemistry. I'll say chemistry. This team has the most team chemistry we've had since I've been here. I've been here 4 years. You can't look outside and see too many players just walking along. You're going to see them with a group. You're going to see them with 2 or 3 guys. Man, we hang out regularly. We go to the creek. We all go out to eat on Sundays. So team chemistry definitely played a big factor in not just defense, but the whole team morale for the whole year.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, and the results are undeniable. Well, Chason, a senior season, one of 11 seniors on this team that, you guys were honored during that Huntington game we mentioned in a pregame ceremony. First, before we kind of get into what you're going to be up to after graduation and all that, tell us about, the senior class, how close you guys are as a group, and, what it meant, for you guys to be honored that day. And, have you had a chance to reflect on it all?
Yes, sir. I guess it doesn't really hit you until the day of, right before you walk out the tunnel, until you get on the field. And right before you walk out, you turn and you look at all the faces. Some new, some have been here from the jump from 2017. And it's, I guess, heartwarming to know that you can find a group of people who can stick around and stick it out. And those are the type of guys you want in your corner at all times.
Yeah, Gabe Rebollar-Catalan, same question for you. When you're nearing the finish line here, as far as your college career and, that moment of the senior day ceremony, and when you think back of your teammates and all that, have you been able to put it in any kind of perspective?
I feel like it's gonna hit me right when I get to the airport in Asheville, and then I leave. It still hasn't hit me yet, but just being able to stand with all those seniors, Lowry, Dante, Hogan, and many more, just all these guys, just great group of guys. Like Lowry said, I feel like this year this whole team was a lot more. The chemistry was a lot better, than previous years, and more bonding. We would go out to eat together. We hang out by the creek, and so this year was a lot. It was more special for me just because everyone was well off together.
Brandon, special group of seniors, this group of 11. You guys have been through a lot, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely.
Yeah, and do you reflect back on that senior day ceremony and sort of what it all means?
Oh yeah, it's bittersweet. It really is. Just looking back, all the friends that I've gained from this team, I wouldn't even call them friends now. It's more like brothers and a family. Um, it's just so bittersweet having to walk away and just watch them grow, watch the teammates that I have that are going to be here next year just grow and go and get that ring again and all that. And it's just bittersweet.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Do want to mention the entire group: Stephon Kennedy, Dante Anderson, Andreas Wyatt, Stephen Hogan, Chason Lowry, who's here on the show with us, Quentin Jackson, Brandon Whitfield, of course, who's here with us, Wesley Ross, Nicholas Eubanks, Jacob Dixon, and Gabriel Rebollar-Catalan. Just an outstanding group of seniors. Congratulations to all of them. Brandon, Coach touched on it briefly, a career in law enforcement that you've already began. Can you catch us up where you're at with your career and what your goals are there?
Yes, sir. So back in July, I got sworn in as a deputy sheriff at the Transylvania County Sheriff's Office right here in Brevard. Went through field training, got out in field training in November, and in January I was assigned to a shift to work full-time hours, but they still let me be part-time so that way I could take off for the games and football and stuff. So right now I'm still working there. Unfortunately, since I'm graduating, it's come my time to go home and stuff. So it was a super hard decision on whether to stay up here and work and all that with these guys that I've can call my brothers now through this agency. But getting ready to go home, I've got a job getting ready to be lined up at the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office in Georgia. And that's where I'll continue my career in law enforcement as a patrol deputy down there, doing the same thing I'm doing up here, just on a much bigger scale with a lot more people and more citizens. But it's been such an experience up here with the Transylvania County Sheriff's Office. I've loved every guy and girl that I've got to work with. It's been a blessing. And it's going to be super hard whenever I have to turn in my stuff and go home. But I've really, really enjoyed working with them, and the job is everything I've expected it to be, and I absolutely love it.
Outstanding. Congratulations, Brandon, and really appreciate all you're doing for our community as well. Really, really appreciate it. Gabriel Rebollar-Catalan, tell us what you're going to be graduating with degree-wise and what you got planned from there.
So I'll be graduating with a degree of exercise science with a minor in coaching. So I did do an internship over the summer back home at this place called Elite U, sports performance training. So they do a lot of sports performance trainings with high-end athletes, pro athletes, college athletes, D1 level, and high school level. So they did offer me a position there if I was ever interested, but I also had a huge interest in real estate. And so I did begin doing some real estate out here virtually through trying to get in the Phoenix market. But for me, I feel like my focus will be in real estate and just going into that and fix and flips, wholesaling, buy and hold. And so I hope all works out, praying to God, but that's what I'll be focusing on is the real estate side and back home in Phoenix, Arizona.
Very good. Chason Lowry, same question for you. Tell us what your degree will be in and what you have plans for career-wise.
When I graduate my career, my degree will be in criminal justice. I'm a criminal justice major, and I'll be joining the BLET program once I graduate to become an officer. I'm still unsure if I will be moving to my initial place, Charlotte, or going back home yet. I'm undecided.
Very good. Chason, we'll stick with you here as you know, we've got some more student athletes I know out in the lobby there ready to get on the show here. So Chason, shout outs, thank yous, you know, senior season here. Tell us who you want to give a shout out to.
Yes, sir. Well, first off, I'd like to thank God for where I'm at. Thank him for everything I have. I don't have much, but what I have, I'm blessed for. And my family back home, all my coaches from middle school, elementary school, on up to here in college, man. Everybody's been a blessing around me. They've done nothing but give me helping hands and then welcome me with open arms.
Very good. Well, Chason, we'll let you go. If you can grab, the next tornado on deck out there and bring him into your studio space there, we much appreciate it. Thanks for joining the show, Chason. Congratulations on your career and on your graduation.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
All right, Chason Lowry. Gabriel Rebollar-Catalan, the senior from Scottsdale, Arizona. We've done this a couple times, my man, but one more time around. Shout outs and thank yous.
Man, I just want to thank God. Thank God for the opportunity I had to come to Brevard. I'm gonna shout out my whole team. You know, when I leave, you know, that's what I'm gonna miss the most is just having that relationship with all the guys here. And so shout out to them. Shout out to everyone back home, especially Elite U. Elite U was the one that was able to help me with my performance training and translating it onto the field. So everyone back home, family that supports me, you know, much love to everyone. And again, Phil, it was a pleasure, my man. Hopefully I can come back and visit. But this is my last hurrah, man. Thank you for everyone, NATO Nation. You know, goodbye, Brevard. Thank you.
Very good. Gabriel Rebollar-Catalan, congratulations. Best of luck moving forward in your career, and thanks for all the memories here at Brevard College. All right, Brandon Whitfield, the senior from Cumming, Georgia, West Forsyth High School, defensive back, also long snapper. Same question for you, same opportunity for you, Brandon. Shout outs and thank yous.
Yes, sir. First off, I'd like to thank God for everything he's given me and the opportunities he's presented me and the people he's put in my life. And I'd like to thank my family, most of all, for the support and love that they give me every single day to play the game of football and for my career goals in life. I also like to thank the brothers that I've gained from this team for the best 4 years that I could ever ask for. And then last, everybody, all the men and women at the Transylvania County Sheriff's Office for just helping me to learn more for my career and just giving me the best opportunity I could ever ask for as well. And then thank you, everybody out in NATO Nation, for all the support and love that y'all give us for the past 4 years and that you're going to continue to give us from now on. So thank you. Thank you.
Very good. Brandon Whitfield, congratulations. Best of luck moving forward. Thanks for all the memories as a member of that Brevard College football team.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And thank you for everything.
All right. There he goes, Brandon Whitfield. So really pleased to have those three seniors on the show. And thanks for their time. Gabriel Rebollar-Catalan, Brandon Whitfield, and Chason Lowry as we effort to bring in our next set of Brevard College football student athletes. And do also want to mention 2 cheerleaders were honored during that special senior day celebration and want to congratulate them on their careers and all they've done to support the team. Megan Coggins and also Gracie Davis. Congratulations to them. And we're shifting gears now. We're going to go to the offensive side of the ball to talk to these next 3 tornadoes in the top right quarter. Offensive lineman, D3Football.com Team of the Week honoree, Brandon Unangst. Big U, Brandon Unangst. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Doing great. Thank you. Glad you're able to join us for this special edition. In the bottom right corner, DJ Taylor, the running back. DJ, thanks for joining the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
And also with us, freshman quarterback Eli Carr. Eli, thanks for joining the program.
I appreciate you for having me, man.
All right, we're going to start with Eli, and the number one thing we want to make sure we talk to you about is how are you doing health-wise? You suffered a severe injury in the middle of the season, and I know a lot of NATO Nation has been, thinking about you, praying about you, concerned that you were doing okay. Can you kind of catch us up on where you're at with your rehab?
Oh yeah, I have a few more weeks. 4, I think is what they said, and I can start walking. So I'd imagine about 6, and I can start running everything back full speed. So looking forward to that for sure.
Good. Well, good to hear that you're on the mend, Eli. And, you brought us a lot of memories this season. No doubt about it. It began at Averett, 212 yards passing, 24 of 32. Justin Pendergrass had a big day on that afternoon as well, 104 receiving yards. But a real bust-out performance for you, Eli. When you think back to that Averett game, what comes to mind?
How well our whole team played together. I mean, our defense was phenomenal. Our offensive line gave me time, and like you said, me and JP just had a connection going that day. So, I mean, I just think back and I just think, wow, like that was the game that all clicked for the team.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Then that momentum continued with that home opener, that first ever game at Islamel Family Field, all sorts of excitement around Brevard College, and Eli with 4 touchdowns in that one as well. Eli, had to feel great to get the win at home.
It was awesome. It felt great to get the win at home, but it also felt great to beat Huntington, trying to make a statement, trying to get that first place spot and everything. I mean, again, our whole team played great that day. It wasn't just me at all.
All right, DJ Taylor, the sophomore running back out of Lawrenceville, Georgia Archer High School. Now, reflecting back on that Huntington game at Islamel Family Field, the second play from scrimmage offensively, DJ, people are just sort of kind of getting their head wrapped around that, hey, we're playing football on campus at Brevard College. Then all of a sudden, DJ busts out a 65-yard run along the near sideline to set up an Eli Carr touchdown to your fellow running back, Aaron Bennett. DJ, reflect back on that play. What happened? Which of these offensive line busted it open for you? And, how did that feel that afternoon?
Well, the whole week we have been talking about starting fast on offense because we kind of got to a slow start. We were still trying to get used to each other offensively. And the whole week we had this one play and we were practicing it. And it's more of a slow grind for that play. But that time, Uni's side up there on the top right corner, man, he opened up the hole. I saw it and I just busted and just happened to streak down the sideline. And then we happened to score. And that was just big. It was a big momentum shift for us, especially early in the game. We needed that. So that was cool. Yeah,
no doubt about it. A big time highlight there. And DJ, you are part of a very impressive running back core for the Tornadoes. Guys like Damon Rouse and also Aaron Bennett. All sorts of accolades for you guys this season. Big rushing numbers. In that North Carolina Wesleyan game, you guys shredded their defense for 319 rushing yards, just like a mind-blowing number. Can you talk about the unit altogether and kind of the different looks you guys bring?
Yeah, so we have a lot of guys in the running back group that can really do something with the ball in their hands. A lot of young guys, a lot of older guys, and it's a good mix, and we have a good rotation. We have a nice flow, and we from the beginning, Coach Thompson always told us, run hard, run fast, put your head down, be relentless, and as long as that O-line is blocking hard and they do every single practice, every single game, and we just take it and we run with it. And so it's cool being a part of something where you have a ton of guys that can do some of the same things, a little bit of something different. We all bring something different to the table. So it's pretty cool to be a part of that.
Yeah, and Brandon Unangst, a big part of that offensive line, of course. The group of Eubanks, Bargelo, Drake, Unangst, and Todd Norman win D3Football.com Team of the Week nods following that big performance. And a lot of it was that run blocking success, Brandon. Can you tell us, kind of what the secret of the success this year for this offensive line group was? You guys really got a lot of big results.
Yeah, I think it was mostly a lot of us. We've been playing together for, 2 or 3 years. I'm in my third year. We had 3 or 4 juniors on the O line and one senior, Nicholas Eubanks, and we had great chemistry. Phenomenal chemistry, and it opened up a lot of holes. We had a great group.
And tell us a little bit about pass blocking for guys like Eli Carr, giving him enough time to, be able to deliver on, those big passing numbers.
Oh, Eli is great. He gets the ball out really quickly, so makes our job easy.
And Eli, I'll pass the baton over to you because, I know how quarterbacks enjoy a solid offensive line, and you've got a great one, with guys like Brandon.
Absolutely. I can't even remember really. I think I had 1 sack the whole time. We were playing and stuff, and I don't know if I can never say that's happened to me before. Multiple sacks a year type thing, but 1 sack out of 4 games. That's a stat for sure. Those guys did great all year long. They grinded every day and just were phenomenal.
Well, stick with us for a couple more here, fellas. Eli, freshman out of Asheville, just up the road, AC Reynolds High School. Tell us a little bit about that dynamic, being a local product and, playing, basically hometown type atmosphere here at Brevard College. Can you talk about, how you found Brevard or Brevard found you, and also what it means to play so close to home?
Absolutely. Coach Cruz and Coach Fitz, when he was here, they came down one day before a game, and they were like, hey, we'd love to have you on the team type thing. So that was the first time I met those guys in person. And we just kept talking. I talked to a few other coaches, and then it's ended up me falling in love with the place. Just I can go right up the road. Like you said, I'm at college, but then I come home on the weekends and eat a home cooked meal, and that's just nice, and I play in the same weather, it's not a big climate change or anything like that. So it's pretty comfortable just getting up there, staying, what's the word? Accumulated, I guess, to the place, to where I'm from, everything like that. It's pretty cool for sure.
Yeah, already used to the elevation here in the Western North Carolina mountains, no doubt about it. DJ Taylor, running back out of Lawrenceville, Georgia, Archer High School. Tell us a little bit about your journey, DJ, how you found Brevard.
Coach Gallen, that used to be here last year, he recruited me. He gave me a call one time when it was like after the game. We had played, and he was like, come up for a visit. I came up, I met all the coaches, Coach Khayat, Coach Jerome, that used to be here. And I felt comfortable with the place, and a change of scenery, being in the mountains, it's not like Georgia. But they told me I'd get an opportunity to play, and I just came up here and I saw the vision that Khayat was talking about, and seeing the type of success we can have as a team. So that was the reason why I came.
Well, you guys have been delivering upon that vision, no doubt about it. Brandon Unangst, junior offensive lineman out of Bostic, North Carolina, East Rutherford High School. Not all that far from here in Brevard, North Carolina. But Brandon, tell us a little bit about your journey and your upbringing as a football player.
So as far as getting here, it was probably like late March or April, and I got a call from Coach Lindsay, and we just started talking a lot. Like 2 or 3 more weeks, I was up here on a visit, and I really loved the area. I loved that it was close to home, and I thought it gave me, the best shot to be a successful football player. And, Coach Khayat has done a great job with the team, bringing everybody together. And as far as like my upbringing from football, I played since I was 8, went to good high school, East High, all that stuff. So.
Very good. Just a couple more before we let you guys go. Brandon, we'll stick with you on this next one. 11 seniors. You mentioned your offensive line mate, Nicholas Eubanks, but a grand total of 11, a really impressive senior class. Would you like to share a few words of perhaps thank you or congratulations to that group?
Yeah, the senior class that just left was, they were the best. They did everything great. Lowry, Nicholas Eubanks, Lowry, B-Man, all those guys. Gabe's great. Dante, candidate, all those guys who are leaving are just, I mean, they were great, great mentorship to, the younger guys. And hope they do well with whatever they're doing.
DJ Taylor, a message to the outgoing senior class?
Yeah, man. All those guys, man, Lowry to B-Man to I mean, Dante, all of them, man, they really bring that energy every day, always having fun. They're real serious about when it's time to get to work, and I like that about them, and I love that about them, man. And I'm gonna miss them, and just good luck to them, whatever they do.
Eli Carr, not just yourself, but the entire freshman class, having a strong senior class can go a long way in getting you guys up to speed quickly, correct?
Absolutely. I mean, that's the biggest thing I can take away from the senior class was they were also welcoming. They cared about all the freshmen because it was like, just welcome to the family type thing as soon as we walked in. That's something I know me and a bunch of my friends won't ever forget. So that was really nice of them.
Very good. Well, before we let you go, want to give you each the opportunity to give any shout outs or thank yous, anyone who may have helped you along the way, anybody who might catch this program at any time, or even if they aren't able to join us, just somebody you want to make mention to. Eli, we'll start with you. You got any thank you shout outs for us?
For sure. I'd like to thank the man above, of course, and my family, as well as my friends, the Brevard community, everybody that's helped me get to where I'm at now. But I'd definitely like to thank coaches and our team. It's just been a fun year, and I hope we can continue doing it for the next 4. So,
very good. Eli Carr, the freshman from Asheville, North Carolina, brought us a lot of great memories this year, Eli, and looking forward to what's to come in your career and for Tornadoes football. Thanks again for joining the show, Eli. Great to have you here with us this afternoon.
So thank you for having me. Take it easy.
All right, there he goes, Eli Carr. And DJ Taylor, the sophomore running back from Lawrenceville, Georgia. Same opportunity for you. Shout outs, thank yous.
I want to shout out my mom, my dad. Can't forget God, of course. Want to shout out my little sister, Tori, my girlfriend, Haley, all my friends from back home. Shout out to all the coaches and trainers that gave me an opportunity and worked with me. And shout out to the whole team and RBU, and just thank you.
Very good. Great stuff, DJ Taylor. Thanks for the memories this season. We can't wait to see you in more of those from that running back core and for the entire Tornadoes. Great job on the show this afternoon. Thanks again for joining us, DJ.
Thank you.
All right, Brandon Eunick, same opportunity for you, my friend. Shout outs, thank yous.
Just shout out my mom, my dad, my family, all the coaches I've had, all the way from East High to here with Lindsay and the rest of the staff. Shout out to the O-line, Dixon, the seniors. That's it.
Very good. Well, Brandon, we can't wait to see you during your senior season next year, and the Tornadoes back in action this fall. Thanks again for joining the show.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
All right, there he goes. DJ Taylor, Brandon Unangst, and Eli Carr, 3 members of that prolific offense. And we're going to shift gears to the other side of the ball in just a moment here, bringing in defensive performers from this past season. As Tyler Harrison has joined the house here. Also in the house, Toby Naylor and Jerome Bass. Great to have these 3 with us. Tyler Harrison in the upper right corner, the sophomore DB from Franklin, North Carolina, Franklin High School. Tyler, thanks for joining the show.
Thank you for having me.
Also with us, Toby Naylor, the sophomore linebacker from Southampton, England. Toby, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Phil.
And also with us, junior defensive lineman from Red Springs, North Carolina, Red Springs High School, Jerome Bass. Jerome, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right, Jerome, we'll start with you because we had defensive coordinator Luke Jaicks on the show earlier, and we're going through some of these defensive numbers, and they're really kind of mind-boggling. At one point, there was a 14-quarter streak where you guys didn't even allow a touchdown, holding teams to, just over 10 points a game, barely allowing touchdowns this season, getting all sorts of turnovers as well. When you look back on this season, what was the reason that you guys were able to come up with this much success defensively?
It's hard to say just one thing, really. It's just everyone doing their part and really buying into the system that we have. And Coach Jaicks and Coach Easter and Nelson, everyone just doing their best to put us in the position that we can do our best and really show off what we have to offer.
And Jerome, we'll stick with you also just from the defensive line perspective. Can you talk about you guys as a unit, the work you all put in, trying to really work on your craft in specific?
Yes, sir. Really just shout out Trench Mob. We just get it in every day. We're really just a big brotherhood. And every day we push each other to get better, whether that be in just individuals or going up against the offensive line who really make us a lot better, especially with Uni and them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Now, Toby, Naylor, you racked up some big numbers individually, but same question for you. As a total unit, the defense was just lights out all season long. Can you tell us, what really contributed towards that success?
I think as Bass mentioned before, it's really just buying into the system. Coach Jake preaches every day, do your job. And, we do that. No one really tries to be the hero and go out their way to, do something stupid and try and make a play. We all just do our job, do our assignment, and we really play for each other and fight for each other. And I think that really helps us play well and succeed as we have been.
And Toby, tell us about your position in specific and, the guys you worked all season long with, really dating back to last fall.
Yeah, no, I've got a really good group of guys. I have the pleasure of playing both, moving between inside and outside linebacker. So I get to work with, both groups, and I'm real close with both groups. We got some really good coaches, Coach Romero and Coach Shane, they get us right every single day. And I think we just come in every day and perfect our craft and get better. And, we tell ourselves we're the best position group on the field every single day, and we try and go out and prove it. And I think that's really difficult because there's so much talent in every single other position. So it's definitely a fight to try and prove that we're trying to be the best because, this whole team is stacked and loaded with talent.
Tyler Harrison, part of a just dynamic secondary, the secondary part of 11 interceptions. A couple of those interceptions came from other units, I realize, but, you guys get in the lion's share of those. Tyler, tell us again, this year, the defensive success, what was attributed to that, but also you guys as a unit in the secondary?
Shout out DBU. We got the best DBs in the country. I don't know, man. I say going up against our receiver gang that we got, it's the best receiving core in the conference and probably D3 football. They get us better and better every day. And I feel like that's what pushes us to do our best, and that's what helped us be successful.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because the wide receiver core for the Tornadoes swept all conference honors at that position. Cedric Brooks, Jamario Parks, and Justin Pendergrass. I know there's even more guys than that. Jonathan Woods and others come to mind. Tyler, tell us even more because those guys bring a lot of different looks and really challenge you guys as a secondary during practice.
Oh, yeah. JP, he's probably one of the most versatile receivers that I've seen or played with or against. He's the quickest and shiftiest receiver I've ever tried to tackle or even two-hand touch like practice. Jonathan Woods, he's probably trying to press that dude's hard. For me, at least, I'm a smaller guy, so I gotta get a little bit more push underneath. And Cedric Brooks, he's an animal. He's huge. Nobody can. You can't get around Cedric. You can't bully Cedric. He's gonna bully you.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Toby Naylor, the same kind of topic. It kind of goes overlooked just how valuable those weekdays are. But everybody pays attention to the games themselves, the Saturdays, the broadcast, all that kind of thing, and then the results afterwards. But you guys really put in the hard work during the week, during those practices, and if you practice hard, the games come easy. Correct?
Yeah, definitely. I really enjoy practice. It's always such a fun atmosphere, whether we're on the backfields or on the turf. Like everyone brings the juice. and it's just so much fun. Like, everyone's working really hard, but we're competing and, playing against guys that you're so close with. Like, it's so funny. Like, you tackle a boy on offense and, you start laughing at him, or you run into a big lineman and he's kind of laughing at you. And it's a lot of fun playing with the guys that you're so close with, because, you're pushing each other and you're working really hard. But at the same time, you can laugh about it if someone, gets hit really hard, because it's just funny, because we're all really close and we're all boys on this team. So, yeah, it's fun.
Would like NATO Nation to get to know each of you a little further. And Jerome, junior defensive lineman out of Red Springs, North Carolina. Tell us, how you found Brevard College, how Brevard College maybe found you, and, sort of your upbringing as a football player.
So I actually came to Brevard on a visit junior year with Canyon Lambert and some people. And then after my senior year, I ended up going to Charleston, West Virginia for my first year. And then I liked it there and everything, but it just didn't work out. So I found myself looking for a home. And that's when Coach Jaicks really just reached out to me again. It was like, hey, we'd love to have you here. And I already knew a few people that was already here, like Brandon Norris and Chason Lowry. And I was like, well, let's give it a shot and see how it goes. And after that, it's just history, For me, like growing up, my uncles are real big football fans. I have 5 uncles. And so all of them really just pushed me early to get into the sport. And I just fell in love with it.
Very good. Appreciate you sharing that with us, Jerome. Toby Naylor, sophomore linebacker out of Southampton, England. I know we've had you on the show before, Toby, to tell your story a little bit, but in case people are meeting you for the first time, tell us about your journey coming all the way from England.
My uncle is from Minnesota, so he kind of got me into football. He took me to a Vikings game over in London, and I went and watched AP run all over him, and I just fell in love with it. So I started playing when I was 13. Got the chance to play for Stolen Seahawks, Bristol Pride Academy, and I also got to represent my country for Great Britain. And the whole time I loved it. I loved playing, and I wanted to come out here and play in America, play where football's from, and play at the big stage kind of thing. So I was trying to get recruited, and I found Brevard and FaceTime. Coach Gabriel and Coach Jaicks was really cool, because they were always reaching out to me, checking up on me, and they really took a chance on me. Kid being from England, like you don't really know what the standards like over there and how I'm going to compare coming over. So I really appreciate them for taking a chance on me, because I think it's worked out pretty well, and loving every minute of it. Living the dream, definitely.
Tyler Harrison, sophomore DB out of Franklin, North Carolina, Franklin High School, not all that far from here at Brevard College. Tell us a little bit about your journey, Tyler.
Oh yeah, I started playing football probably when I was 11 years old. I didn't really take it serious back then. I was more of a baseball player, but got in middle school. I played running back my 8th grade year. It's very surprising. I was smaller than everybody. But I started to fall in love with the game. I liked how the game was moving. And then high school came. That's when I started to play DB, and also played a little bit of receiver at the time. But I just fell in love with the game. And my high school coaches, Coach Josh back home, he pushed me to my limits, and he knew it was best for me. And now I'm here at Brevard. And Coach Jaicks, he called me one day while I was playing golf and was like, hey, man, you want to play some corner for me? And I said, sure. So, and we're here now.
Very good. Well, we're glad to have you here, Tyler. No doubt about it. Well, a lot of this program, Tyler, we spent celebrating the senior class, 11 outstanding seniors. When I mention the senior class and what this group has meant to you, what comes to mind?
Oh, man, Dante and Wesley, Derek Frazier, I could name them all. They all took me under their wing as like a little brother, to be honest. They've helped me out, I guess, to fit in here at Brevard, fit in with everybody. They've also pushed me on the field. They've done a lot for us, and they deserve a lot. And I know every one of them is going to do great in life.
Same opportunity for you, Toby. Message to the outgoing seniors?
Big senior class this year. Going to miss every single one of them. They're great guys, some really true characters that I've got to meet throughout my life. Two that stand out a lot, I think, is Stephon Kennedy and Dante Anderson. When I got here, they were really, the big dogs on the team, especially on defense. They were the best players that, probably ever seen. And, I've learned so much from them, how to, on and off the field, just how to handle yourself, how to put in the work. So, yeah, big shout out to probably those two guys mainly, but all the seniors I'm going to miss, especially, Kings 80, Gabe Rebollar's haircuts. I'm going to miss that quite a lot. Going to have to find a new barber. So, yeah, shout out to all those seniors. Going to miss them. But I know, based on their character, that they're going to do great things in life. And I'm excited to see them and carry on being friends throughout my life, after football.
Jerome Bass, message to the senior class?
God. So I'm gonna miss them really. I mean, I love all the seniors. We've really gone close. There are gonna be guys that I invite to my wedding. Just gonna be lifelong friends from here on out. Especially like Chason Lowry. Like I know him from back home, and since I've got here, he's done nothing but just look out for me and take me up under his wing and show me everything. And like Dante Anderson, I've met him through Lowry, and he's really stepped up and helped me like with everything else, like football wise, school wise. I'm just gonna miss like everything about him. We had a really good group of seniors this year.
Yeah, well said, all three of you guys, about an outstanding senior class. Well, before we let you go, as is custom here on Tornado Talk, want to give you the opportunity to give any thank yous or shout outs to anyone who's helped you along the way. Jerome, get us started. Thank yous, shout outs.
I have to shout out Coach Easter and all of Trench Mob, and just shout out to the whole team, really, especially the senior class. And then shout out to my mom and all my uncles for pushing me and getting me here.
Very good. Appreciate those words, Jerome Bass, and congrats on being part of a great season this spring. Extraordinary circumstances, but you guys got it done without a doubt. Toby, Naylor, shout outs, thank yous on this platform.
I want to join Bass actually and say, shout out to Trench Mob. They made my job so much easier this year, and I appreciate every single one of those D-line so much, and the DBs. They make all around me straight ballers, and they make my job so much easier. Shout out to all my boys back home for Solent and Bristol. Out there. I know they're struggling back home in the pandemic still and getting out lockdown. Shout out to my mom and my stepdad Callum, and I just appreciate everyone back home, and I miss them so much.
Tyler Harrison, same opportunity for you. Shout outs, thank yous.
I just want to shout out my family back home, all my friends back home, all my boys here, the Goon Squad upstairs. They make everything so much easier here, and I want to thank those guys for it. I want to thank Coach Jaicks and Coach Khayat for giving me this opportunity to play football, and not many people get this opportunity to play, and I'm glad to be playing it.
Well, congratulations, you three. You guys really got it done this season. A 4-1 overall record, USA Southwest Division co-champions, and a lot of great memories have already been made, and many more to come with the underclassmen at Brevard College as this program continues to build. Well, want to thank everybody who joined the show this evening. Coaches Bill Khayat, Luke Jaicks, and also Martin Bayless. Seniors Gabriel, Rebollar-Catalan, Brandon Whitfield, and Chason Lowry. We had 3 stars from the offense: Eli Carr, DJ Taylor, and Brandon Unangst. And then the 3 gentlemen on your screen right here: Tyler Harrison, Toby, Naylor, and Jerome Bass. And one more time, just want to give a shout out to that senior class: Stefan Kennedy, Dante Anderson, Andreas Wyatt, Stephen Hogan, Chason Lowry, Quentin Jackson, Brandon Whitfield, Wesley Ross, Nicholas Eubanks, Jacob Dixon, Gabriel, Rebollar-Catalan, and the cheerleaders, Megan Coggins and also Gracie Davis. Also, big shout out to the drum line, who created a lot of excitement and energy at Ives Lamel Family Field. And thank you, NATO Nation, for continuing to follow Brevard College Tornado Athletics. Be sure to follow us on social media and stick with us. We'll be bringing you the Best Bees next week on Tuesday night, so be sure you tune in for that one, where we hand out this year's athletic awards. Thanks again for joining this special edition of Tornado Talk. Go Tornadoes!